The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. BPL offering a 50% rebate to customers on 3 family islands. BPL CEO explaining the high BPL bills in the summer months. And the U.S. Embassy getting ready to move into their new building. We've got all the details. That's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Friday, August 22nd, 2025. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Also this morning in business, we're talking with Easy Car Sales. They're starting their BYD Owners Club and a back-to-school test drive promotion. Let's talk with them about that and a whole lot more coming up. That's all ahead, but first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. The overnight investigations continue to a shooting that happened on Wednesday. A man still in the hospital after he was shot on Robinson Road Wednesday night. The 28-year-old victim and another man were sitting in a car near a grocery store shortly after 8:30 p.m. when they were approached by individuals in a Japanese car. 2 gunmen got out of that car and began shooting at them. The victim was hit multiple times, and the other man fled uninjured. The shooter sped away. The victim taken to the hospital said to be in critical condition. Police asking for anyone with information to come forward. Give them a call at 911 or 919 or 328-TIPS. Following recurring electricity struggles on several family islands, BPL CEO Tony Seymour says that BPL will offer residents on Eleuthera, Long Island, and Cat Island a 50% rebate on their next billing cycle. This summer, Family Islanders have been vocal about unstable power supply issues. After an island-wide blackout last week Monday, BPL implemented 4-hour load-shedding activities across Cat Island that led to heavy complaints from residents. Residents on Long Island and Eleuthera have also been hit with inconsistent electricity supply in recent weeks. At the Office of the Prime Minister's weekly press briefing yesterday, Seymour explained that the outages were brought on by unit failures. She apologized to the customers who've been experiencing the extended outages. She said for Cat Island residents, they're currently experiencing a load-shedding schedule and that they had a failure on one of their units. The Cat Island Power Station, she says, has 4 engines installed and they had a failure on one of those units. In a statement sent to Cat Island residents on Monday, officials estimated that work would be completed by Sunday, but Seymour said Thursday that restoration efforts could conclude by mid-next week. Addressing the Abaco issue, Seymour said the BPL is still working to fully commission the Marsh Harbor Power Station. And she said BPL is working to complete the transmission line between Treasure Key and Cooperstown to bring the entire network back together. She also says BPL is installing generation on all main Abaco keys, and a generator has been installed on Manowar Key. Work is ongoing in Long Island after winds from the outer bands of Hurricane Erin resulted in one of the island's power units losing a surge suppressor. And responding to consumer concerns about high electricity bills, Seymour says that the hike is due to BPL using more expensive fuel to keep up with summer energy demands. Seymour explained that the Clifton Pier Power Station cannot sustain the power demand for the summer months on its own, resulting in BPL running additional units at the Blue Hill Power Station, which runs on the more expensive diesel fuel. Prime Minister Philip Davis restating his government's commitment to concluding industrial agreements with labor unions. The government on Wednesday signed a 4-year industrial agreement with BCPOU and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. Davis also expressing gratitude for partners who made the agreement signing successful. And a killer telling a probation officer that he still has flashbacks of the incident is coming out in the Supreme Court. Slade Seymour is awaiting sentencing after he pleaded guilty to manslaughter for the stabbing death of Karen Thompson on June 27, 2022. Seymour was working at a restaurant located in a plaza on Carmichael Road when customers complained about a panhandler outside. When Seymour asked Thompson to leave, he allegedly threw rocks at Seymour. Seymour said that he and Thompson got into a fight and he stabbed him with his pocket knife. According to the probation officer, Seymour apologized to Thompson's family for what he had done. Seymour had suffered from drug-induced psychosis caused by cannabis use and had been treated with Xanax, according to the probation officer. Seymour is expected to learn his fate in October. Overseas, the world's leading authority on food crises says that the Gaza Strip's largest city is gripped by famine and that it's likely to spread across the territory without a ceasefire and an end to restrictions on humanitarian aid. The Integrated Food Security Phase Classification, or IPC, says famine is occurring in Gaza City, home to hundreds of thousands of Palestinians, and that it could spread south to other regions by the end of next month. The IPC determination comes after months of warnings by aid groups that Israel's restrictions on food and other aid in Gaza and its military offensive were causing high levels of starvation among Palestinian civilians, particularly children. The grim milestone, the first time the IPC has confirmed a famine in the Middle East, is sure to ramp up international pressure on Israel, which has been in a brutal war with Hamas since the militant group's October 7, 2023 attack. Israel says it plans to escalate the war soon by seizing Gaza City and other Hamas strongholds, which experts say will exacerbate the hunger crisis. The IPC says hunger has been driven by fighting and the blockade of aid and magnified by widespread displacement and the collapse of food production in Gaza, pushing hunger to life-threatening levels across the entire territory after 22 months of war. Meanwhile, Israel's defense minister warning today that Gaza's largest city would be destroyed unless Hamas yields to Israel's terms. As the world's leading authority on food crisis again said that the city was gripped by famine. A day after Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that he would authorize the military to mount a major operation to seize Gaza City, the defense minister Israel Katz warning that the enclave's largest city could, quote, turn into Rafah and Beit Hanun, areas that were reduced to rubble earlier in the war. Katz wrote in a post on X, formerly Twitter, quote, "The gates of hell will soon open on the heads of Hamas's murderers and rapists in Gaza until they agree to Israel's conditions for ending the war." He restated Israel's ceasefire demands the release of all hostages and Hamas's complete disarmament. Hamas said it would release captives in exchange for ending the war, but rejects disarmament without the creation of a Palestinian state. And a car bomb and a separate attack on a police helicopter in Colombia killed at least 17 people Thursday. President Gustavo Petro attributing both attacks to dissidents of the defunct FARC, Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia. At least 12 police officers died in the attack on a helicopter that, according to authorities, was transporting personnel to an area in northern Colombia. They were trying to eradicate cocoa leaf crops, the raw material for cocaine. The president had reported initially 8 officers killed, but the governor of the region said 4 others died later and 3 remained injured. The governor also said on X that a drone attacked the helicopter as it flew over the coca leaf crops. The Colombian defense minister, Pedro Sanchez, said preliminary information indicated that the attack caused a fire in the aircraft. Meanwhile, authorities in the southwest city of Cali reported that a vehicle loaded with explosives detonated near a military aviation school, killing 5 people and injuring more than 30. The Colombian Air Force did not immediately provide additional details of the explosion. And a drone attack on a UN convoy set fire to all 16 trucks carrying desperately needed food to Sudan's famine-hit North Darfur region and destroyed all the vehicles. A United Nations spokesperson telling reporters that all drivers and personnel traveling with the World Food Program convoy are safe, saying that it was not yet clear who was responsible for Wednesday's attack, the second in the past 3 months to prevent a UN convoy from delivering to North Darfur. In early June, a convoy from the World Food Program and UNICEF was attacked while awaiting clearance to proceed to North Darfur's besieged capital, killing 5 people and injuring several others. Sudan plunged into conflict in April 2023 when violence sparked by long-simmering tensions between its military and paramilitary leaders erupted in the capital of Khartoum. It then spread to other regions, including Western Darfur. Some 40,000 people have been killed and nearly 13 million displaced. Nearly 25 million people are experiencing acute hunger. And Uganda has agreed to a deal with the United States to take deported migrants as long as they don't have criminal records and are not unaccompanied minors. The Foreign Ministry saying in a statement that the agreement had been concluded, but that terms were still being worked out. It added that Uganda prefers the migrants sent there be of African nationalities, but did not elaborate on what Uganda might get in return for accepting deportees. The U.S. Embassy in Uganda declined to comment on what it called diplomatic negotiations, but said that diplomats were seeking to uphold U.S. President Donald Trump's policy of keeping Americans safe. However, later in Washington, the State Department said Secretary of State Marco Rubio had spoken by phone to the Ugandan president about migration and a number of other issues. The department said the call focused on migration, reciprocal trade, and commercial ties, and that Rubio thanked Uganda for providing a model of, quote, regional stability, including its valuable contributions to peacekeeping in East Africa. In sports, the Bahamas Billie Jean King Cup team had to dig deep in its playoff matchup against host country El Salvador at the 2025 America's Group 3 tournament Thursday in El Salvador. The Bahamas narrowly closed out, though, 2-1 in their tie yesterday to remain undefeated with a 4-0 record. Team head coach Kim O'Kelly had nothing but high praise for the team veterans like Sidney Clark and Simone Pratt after their latest gutsy performance. You can read all about it in today's Guardian Sports section. And it's been another active summer for NBA veteran Chavano Buddy Hield and the Buddy Hield Foundation. The Grand Bahamian jump-started the summer's initiatives with a successful basketball camp in Exuma in June, followed by the Buddy Buckets Bahamas Amateur Athletic Union team gaining experience while playing in the United States. This week, the foundation shifted its focus to local coaches in New Providence with a 3-day clinic hosted at A.F. Adderley Gym. The coaches' clinic emphasizing player development along with offensive and defensive team drills over the first 2 days. Read more about that in today's Guardian Sports section. And from WNBA news, an Ohio man arrested for throwing a sex toy at a WNBA game in New York. It's the latest development in a string of disturbances where similar toys were tossed at WNBA games across the country, resulting in at least 3 arrests. 32-year-old Charles Burgess from Dayton, Ohio, was arrested Wednesday and charged with 2 counts of assault for allegedly throwing an object at the Dallas Wings versus New York Liberty game on August 5th, hitting a 12-year-old girl, according to New York City police. Burgess pleaded not guilty after driving from Ohio and voluntarily surrendering himself to New York authorities. He was released pending his next court date in December. Burgess, an auto body shop owner with 6 children and no criminal record, intends to, quote, vigorously fight these embellished and exaggerated charges, according to his lawyer. Court documents provided by the prosecutor say surveillance video shows Burgess pulling the sex toy from his pants and hurling it toward the court, but his lawyer says the video doesn't appear to show anyone actually being struck by the projectile. Similar disturbances happened during games in Atlanta on June 29th and August 1st, Los Angeles and Phoenix on August 5th, and Chicago on August 1st and 7th. At sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather brought to you by Star General. A heat advisory in effect for the Bahamas today. Expect feel-like temperatures to reach upwards of 112 degrees Fahrenheit. Everyone's being advised to remain hydrated, seek shaded areas, and avoid rigorous physical activity between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. outdoors. Moisture left in the wake of Hurricane Erin will continue to support isolated shower and thunderstorm activity across the country today, especially during peak daytime hours. Additionally, light winds across northern and central Bahamas combined with weak ridging will give rise to extremely warm temperatures across most areas. Hazardous beaching conditions expected to continue today along northern and eastern Atlantic exposed coastlines. So the light to gentle breezes are expected to continue until next week across the northern and central islands as high pressure attempts to reestablish itself across the country. Therefore, very warm temperatures and high UV indexes are expected over the next few days. There is still a risk of rip currents, a moderate risk of rip currents, and locally rough surf affecting Atlantic exposures. Everyone's being advised, residents and beachgoers along Atlantic exposed coastlines still urged to refrain from getting in the water. And there remains a slight risk of minor coastal flooding and erosion for all Atlantic shorelines, especially during high tide. So your forecast for today across the northern, northwest, and central Bahamas, a mix of sun and clouds, becoming fair tonight, a 20 to 30% chance of showers, isolated showers or afternoon thunderstorms, winds southwest at 10 knots or less, falling light and variable at times this evening for the extreme northern islands, southeasterly at less than 10 knots, falling light and variable for the central islands, and light and variable for the rest of the northwest Bahamas. For the southeastern islands, partly sunny today, turning mostly fair tonight. A 10 to 20% chance of isolated showers or afternoon thunderstorms. Winds east-northeast to east-southeast at 10 to 15 knots. Temperatures, we're looking at highs around 95 Fahrenheit, 35 Celsius today. That heat index will make you feel like it's 112, 113 Fahrenheit, 45 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 79 Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have more on your extended outlook and a look at the tropics coming up in just a bit. This weather check brought to you by Star General Insurance, made simple.
Wake up, it's a new day.
You are listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
You know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
It's time to upgrade the way you enjoy at-home entertainment. Alive Fiber is here. Enjoy all your favorite channels and streaming apps, all at lightning-fast internet speeds with affordable bundles, and it's only a click away. Visit www.alivefiber.com to sign up now. Stay connected, live your life. It's good to be alive.
You try to rest, roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it, just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Looking to elevate your gadget game or a tech trouble simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
With RBC,
your ideas become plans.
Your plans become memories.
This is retirement. And your dreams become your life.
whether it's planning that family vacation, owning your dream home, or retiring comfortably, your ideas are everything. And RBC is here to help make them happen. With RBC, your ideas happen here.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app. Nassau, Bahamas.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day.
We're back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas, Channel 969, and BTC Flow, Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strong with you on this Friday, and we've got a lot to get to today. We're going to be talking with the officials from the U.S. Embassy. They're finally going to be moving into that beautiful new building, and we're getting all the details from them on what you need to know, and looking forward to hearing about that. Later in business, we're talking with Easy Car Sales. They are starting their BYD Owners Club, and they have a back-to-school test drive promotion. Plus 2026 models are on their way, so all of that we're going to get into with them today. But first, it's time to talk about what else is in the news. And in the news, we're going to get to BPL. That's a big story. They were at the Office of the Prime Minister yesterday speaking about what's going on. They're going to be offering rebates to Family Island customers, explaining the high bills that we're seeing in the summer. And we know what's going on, but this is the clearest, I think, explanation we've had in a long time. Doesn't make us happy about it, but definitely I think it's a great explanation for folks who will play that for you in a bit. But I need to go back to this story because, you know, when you're reading these things, and like you have to process this, and I'm trying to process this story. So you heard this in the overnight a few minutes ago. So killer says he has flashbacks of incident, court told. Our Artesia Davis writing about this. So a killer told a probation officer that he still has flashbacks of the incident. A Supreme Court judge heard. Slade Seymour. So keep track of the names. Slade Seymour is awaiting sentencing after he pleaded guilty to manslaughter for the stabbing death of Karen Thompson on June 27, 2022. Seymour was working at a restaurant located in a plaza on Carmichael Road when customers complained about a panhandler outside. Seymour was working in the restaurant. When Seymour asked Thompson, that's the panhandler, to leave, Thompson allegedly threw rocks at Seymour, the employee. Seymour said that he and Thompson got into a fight, and he stabbed him with his pocket knife. Seymour stabbed the panhandler. According to the probation officer, Seymour apologized to Thompson's family for what he had done. So Seymour, again, the restaurant worker, had suffered from drug-induced psychosis caused by cannabis use and had been treated with Xanax, according to the probation officer. Is this right? What? Or is that the Thompson? Wait, while he was working in the sandwich shop? Or are you saying after? Since then? What's going on? I'm confused. Seymour is expected to learn his fate in October. Or is it the other way around? Maybe that's Thompson who had it. No, but then the probation officer couldn't speak to the dead man. Okay, so, wow. my head. So why not call the police? Oh, that's what's causing the flashbacks? Is what you're saying? The cannabis and the Xanax? Oh, boy. This is a tragedy, a real tragedy. But why not call the police? I don't... Why would I stop making sandwiches to go to deal with the guy outside? Wow. But it brings it to light another story, right? Like, this is becoming an increasingly big problem here in Nassau. The number of panhandlers, bums who are making people's lives miserable. It is really, remember, we talk about it all the time. You used to be able to count them and know them in the area. But now it's every week, it seems to be somebody new, and they're getting more aggressive. And it just seems like we can't do anything. So I'm curious to know what you think here. What should happen here? This is a real, very sad story. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. He apologized to his family. His family know that he was a panhandler? I guess you have to do what you have to do. Wow. Yeah, this is crazy. Man. All right, so let's move on to BPL. If you have anything to say, we'll get to that too. So BPL, speaking of the Office of the Prime Minister, they're on a media blitz. I expect they'll be here with us soon as well, from what I've been told, and we have a lot to talk about. But they're going to be offering rebates to customers in Family Islands that have been suffering over the past few weeks. Take a listen to this report from our Vonique Toot.
Bahamas Power and Light is offering a 50% rebate on the base rate for the next billing cycle to customers in Eleuthera, Long Island, and Cat Island. That's according to CEO Tony Seymour, who also issued an apology to Family Island customers experiencing extended outages. On Cat Island, where residents have faced nearly a week of power challenges, Seymour says BPL teams are on the ground working to install a brand new unit. 2 units recently failed, leaving the island operating on just 2 remaining units.
We had a failure on one of the units. Cat Island Power Station has 4 engines installed. We had a failure on one of the units, and about a week later, we had a failure on a second unit, which has now reduced us to only 2 units available at the power station. So while we're conducting repairs on one of the failed units, we're also installing a brand new unit to shore up generation on that island. And we expect to have those completed, I would say, by mid next week. For the load shedding schedule, our technicians split the island in 2, north and south respectively, and it's being rotated on a 4-hour basis.
Seymour also gave an update on power generation efforts in Abaco, where the network suffered extensive damage during the passage of Hurricane Dorian and is still undergoing recovery. She says there are 2 units currently operating at the Wilson City Power Station, which together can generate such power. However, when one unit goes offline, BPL is forced to implement load shedding measures.
And that is what we experienced over the past few days, where we lost one of the units. We had to take it out for some emergency maintenance. So we put in place a load shedding schedule for the mainland of Abaco. Now, what we're doing to correct that, in addition to our technicians on the ground working on the 2 units that are currently unavailable, we are installing generation on all of the main Abaco keys. The generator was already installed in Manawarki. That's scheduled to be tied in and expected to be in service by early next week. We're installing 2 additional units on Hopetown, and that will supply all of the load demand on Hopetown, which is one of the larger keys. And we're also installing a unit on Guana Key.
In Long Island, BPL technicians are addressing power generation issues at the power station. Seymour confirmed that one of the 3 units was lost and work is underway to restore full capacity.
One of the units lost a surge suppressor, so we had some heavy winds with the outer bands of Tropical Storm Erin that was passing. And we experienced a number of surges at the power plant. So one of the units lost a surge suppressor. Same with Wilson City. The 2 units can carry the entire load on the island. However, if we lose one of those 2, we're in a load shedding situation. So one of the things that we are doing to shore up generation there is working. We should have the 3rd unit back up in the next 48 hours or so. But one of the things Mr. Marcello is doing, along with his team in Long Island, is identifying a location in the southern part of the island.
Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm Voni Tude.
Okay, so as you heard in that report, there's been a lot going on. Eleuthera, Cat Island, Long Island, all having a very unpleasant summer, but BPL trying to do something for them. If you have been there, you know somebody who's been there. I've had some calls from people complaining, but let's talk if you want to about it. 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259. Will a rebate be enough? 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. We've heard complaints about impacting tourism business, all kinds of other business, everything. Just been rough for the past few months on some of these islands. Will this be enough for anything at all for these residents? 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. We'll get to what the CEO is saying about the bills that we're seeing these past few months in just a bit. But let's hear from you. Good morning, caller. You are on the air.
Dwight, good morning.
Hi.
Soloing today.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Listen, I want to approach the BPL outline that you just played from a different perspective than we have in the past months when we talk about the ability of a power company to deliver power to the Bahamian people. Clearly a very complex set of dynamics that faces a single power generation company, which to me is one of the challenges that BPL face. It doesn't seem sufficiently capable of managing the broader needs of power for the entire country. The liabilities are so huge that one single or a single set of crises can plunge them into an environment where they have challenge keeping up. But what I'm hearing too is I want the Bahamian people to imagine, take power, education, the ability to manage our maritime borders, the ability to subsidize aviation for the Bahamas, and put it in the same context. And then when we sit down and we complain about how much we lack, it should also help us to appreciate how complex it is to manage an archipelagic nation. And I think a lot of times when we have these conversations of grievances, we don't take into consideration how difficult the Bahamas is to manage and to make progress in the face of. Abaco was knocked out, and Doreen, and was trying to rebuild that while trying to keep up with existing problems. So I say this to say to the Bahamian people that, yes, there's a lot of challenges that we face, but we must appreciate that. Take, for example, Barbados built 2 airports and they're done. The Bahamas have about 32 airports and we still don't have enough. 400,000 people. So it's a very difficult set of burden to carry. And I when I listened to what the lady from BPL was saying, I came up with more empathy than anything because, listen, this is a complex nation to run. And that's my takeaway from it. I know there are people without power and it affects their businesses, but man, the needs of this country based on how it's constructed, it's complex and it's massive. And one final thing to say is that...
Why should we do that, though, John? I mean...
Why should we do what?
Why should we why should we even think about that when we're seeing our appliances destroyed and our businesses impacted? Often this is not necessarily the CEO, but we're putting people in charge who say they can fix it. They have the answers, and we are in a cycle of you failed. You couldn't do it. Why should we say, oh, well, we know it's an archipelago, it's very challenging, so I just have to accept it? Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm asking the Bahamian people today is to appreciate that for the last 52 years, yes, we have had some mistakes. We have not done everything that we could do to not be where we are. But when I listen to take, for example, I hail from an island called Meguana. Meguana has less than probably 200 people, 3 major settlements, and it's pretty much one of the larger islands in the country. Do you know what it takes to generate power on Meguana? 100 to 200 people that are not going to be able to pay the power company back for the power generated, so it's subsidized. The point I'm making is that when we have the conversation of what is wrong, let's also look at how difficult it is, but let's also have it in the context of how the Bahamas, as a small nation, have succeeded in being a country that has progressed in the last 52 years in ways that our neighbors with a single landmass has not. When compared to whether it's Barbados or Jamaica, where, like I started to say, if Jamaica builds 2 airports, they're going to down Kingston and Montego Bay, and they're pretty much home free.
Okay, I agree with you, John, but I mean, that's not going to pay the bills. It's not going to put food on the table. It's not going to make you feel comfortable when the power's been off for 4 hours. Yes, we should do that. We've achieved a lot, but ultimately, what will that do?
No, it's not doing. I'm just asking for balance in how we complain about everything that happens in the Bahamas outside of the perspective of how difficult it is to make it work. I'm not going to take up much more of your time because I know other people need to call.
Thanks a lot. Interesting. Yeah. I know it's not going to be easy, especially when you're paying for a service. But, okay. Caller, what say you?
Hey, good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Yeah, Dwight, I wish we had another archipelago, right, inside like ours, right, that we really could have give some comparison to, right? Because
There are plenty, especially on the other side of the planet.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm saying close to us, right? Because I know there are plenty, right? But Dwight, the point I'm really trying to make is, right, based on what John was saying, right? We have a lot of airports, right? That's fine and dandy, right? But these airports, most of them, we just didn't get them, right? So if we had a schedule, right? If we had a schedule for development from 73 to now, right? There's no way Bahamians should have been still living in this way today, right? Because why? If our family islands, because most of our family islands, or you could even go as far as saying all of them are underdeveloped, especially when it relates to the airport, right? It appears that they only come, they only come in the light when it's an election, right? Because once it is an election, we don't need docks, we don't need roads, we don't need schools, there's nothing Bahamian people really need until a general election, right? And this what we continue to see decades after decades. So what that says, that tells us, right, that we are electing people what has no interest. Don't care what eloquent speech they come and tell us. Their interest is what we just see them doing. They have no interest.
Well, no, okay, so that's a bit extreme. That's not it. To me, the issue is this. I've been saying this for years. We have to decentralize. And we're going to count the government as one. If one person is responsible for everything, then there are going to be different priorities that you might not agree with.
I ain't going
right?
against that, Dwight. I ain't
And
going against that.
let's look at
because-
it like it's a party. If you have a party for 200 people and you've decided you're going to do everything, clean the place, decorate the place, cook every single item, and make all the drinks, you are not going to get this done in time, or something's going to be lacking, something's not going to be done right, be issues. And if we could have everybody do their own thing, well, and again, under guidance, but decentralized, let you be responsible for this power plant. You over there do this, you do this according to what you have there, whether it's wind or solar, whatever it is, we'd have a different story. We'd have a very different story.
Right. That's right. That same point which you just raised is one of the most revolutionary situations for the development of this country, because basically you were saying in layman's terms that we can no longer wait on Nassau to come fix Freeport or Eleuthera Road or power plant. These people them need to be responsible for their own situation to a certain degree, right? And that's why we are introducing just call it state government or city governments, so that these
island, whatever you want to break it down to, but
government.
definitely decentralized,
Yes, sir.
more local,
I agree
and
with
that'll
you.
benefit this country in a massive way.
1,000%.
And you mentioned other archipelagos. Look at what they're doing.
Yes, sir.
They have more autonomy on those other islands.
Yes, sir.
When will we get it? Thank you very much. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you too, Dwight.
When will we get it? Look at them. Indonesia, Malaysia, even, as you mentioned, during hurricane season, Cabo Verde Islands all the time. Look at what they're doing. This texter says here, if you can't run a complex archipelago, go back to your previous job. You're not the person we need. Well, okay. Well, I don't know. Well, I hear you. Some areas of Carmichael had no electricity 2 nights in a row for a few hours. All right, did you call anybody? Did you find out what was going on there? I saw a whole lot of pike trucks out yesterday. Anybody see that? And huge things that... While I agree with the caller on the complexity of running an archipelagic country, successive administrations have mismanaged to the point of creating extra problems that add to the geographical ones. Yeah, because they want to decide on every single thing. They want to be in control of every single thing. John was trying to establish a political excuse for the managers of the country. The issues have been neglect over the many years. Well, let's take this call, and then I want to get to what BPL is saying about the bills. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Morning, Cousin Dwight.
How are you?
Yeah, right here, man. Right here, getting better and getting stronger.
Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it.
Right on point. This morning, you and my last caller. Dwight, you see our last caller, like I could get his phone fixed.
You think did his people do it for him, or did he do it on his own?
Boy, I don't know how he get it done, but I am happy that
We're very happy.
Much clearer.
You can hear him. Yeah. We hear everything he wants to say. It's wonderful.
Yeah, because you got a lot of people is really interested in what he has to say.
Mm-hmm.
Dwight, you and him was right on. Dwight, you're right on point. The problem with this town is we got some people in there that we send to do our bidding that don't refuse to delegate. Because if you and my last caller just now, my buddy, could figure out we need local government, we need this. Dwight, you think those men in the halls of parliament don't know that?
They're control freaks. They are control freaks. They want to know everything and be in everything. Apparently, must be there.
Yes, they want to keep their foot on the Bahamian people's neck.
Wow.
And they want us to keep coming to them every election cycle or for whatever we need. So you guys are right on point this morning. The problem is a divide and conquer thing that they're doing to the Bahamians and intimidation. They have the Bahamian people afraid of losing their jobs, afraid of standing up, all of that stuff, right? But you and the last call, and maybe some other people, are right on point. Thanks for taking Nana Boy call.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right.
Glad to hear you're doing better. Okay, this text, this is what we're talking about, but I'm glad you sent the text. This person says here, do you know what happened to channel 213 on cable? It is WPBT from West Palm Beach. They have on some interesting documentaries. That channel just disappeared. Where did it go? So I do know what happened because I got an email, and they even have my name in it. Hi, Dwight. Wow. PBS channels discontinued. We wish to inform you that PBS WPBT, channel 213, available on the Prime package, and PBS Kids, channel 305, available on both Prime and Pro packages, will be removed from the Alive Fiber TV lineup immediately until further notice. Thank you for your loyalty and understanding. Although these channels are being removed, you still have access to a wide selection of family-friendly entertainment through our packages. We're always evolving to bring you the best entertainment. So I find it interesting that they did send an email about that. But you remember a couple weeks ago, we were wondering what was going to be happening with the ABC channels out of Miami. And I don't recall seeing an email about that one. We just had to learn. Just had to wait until the switch to find out what happened there. So I just don't understand the place. But yeah, so I'm sorry to hear that for you. Yeah, but it's gone. So maybe you need to call them and petition for them to bring it back, perhaps. I don't know. Okay, so BPL, back to the CEO, Tony Seymour, and I think this is we kind of have heard this before from ministers responsible and I believe other officials from BPL, but this was the clearest breakdown of why you see these spikes in your bill and the fuel charge in the summer. Take a listen to what Tony Seymour, BPL CEO, said yesterday at the Office of the Prime Minister press conference.
Our fuel charge has always been a pass-through to the customers. Our base rate does not change. It is the same no matter what time of year it is. What does change is our fuel cost. And the reason our fuel cost is higher during the summer months is because the load is higher during the summer months. So, for example, in the winter months, the load on New Providence is like maybe 90 to 100 megawatts. We can supply the entire island of New Providence in the winter months from the Clifton Pier Power Station. The Clifton Pier Power Station runs on heavy fuel oil, which is the cheaper fuel. However, in the summer months, our load increases to about 290 megawatts. So that's an additional 200 megawatts of demand on the island of New Providence alone. Clifton Pier Power Station cannot supply the island in the summer months on its own, so we have to run units at our Blue Hills Power Station. The units at Blue Hills Power Station run on diesel, which is the more expensive fuel. So the amount of fuel that we burn increases during the summer months because the demand increases during the summer months. Additionally, all of the Family Island generation is run on diesel, which is also the more expensive fuel, which is why the pass-through of the fuel cost will always be higher in the summer because we're simply burning more fuel in the summer because we're producing more electricity in the summer because the demand is high.
All right, right? We've kind of heard this before, but that was really, really clear, and I appreciate BPL CEO Tony Seymour for breaking it down like that. Not that you're happy about it, right? It's like, well, I still have to pay this gigantic bill, but you understand what they're dealing with. And yeah, a lot of it is their bad choices historically, because there ain't nobody tell you to get an engine that uses this. But just so you have an understanding of what happens, and that is a whole lot more energy that we are consuming during these very hot summer months here in this wonderful country. But let's get your reaction to it. What do you feel about that? And again, this is very different from what we were talking about yesterday with Grand Bahama and what GBPC is doing. Because everybody's that's their base rate, the 24 cents basically, which is higher than the highest rate for fuel based on your consumption. So that's outrageous what's going on in Grand Bahama right now. But as she said, it's very easy for us to get into this higher range because it's really hot and people are using all of their appliances and more to try to survive at this time of year. So 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Toll free again, 242-300-5720. Phone lines are all lit up. Everyone wants to talk about this. Good morning. Caller, you're on the air. Are you there? Hi, we can hear you. We hear your rumbling in the background. What's going on? Okay, let's take that other one. Hi, caller, you're on the air live.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing well.
Okay, so let's put things into perspective. I am in the air conditioning mechanical space here in the Bahamas, right?
Okay.
So I used to work in Florida for a few years, and what the power company would do in Florida, they took a holistic approach to this thing. And they said, okay, the government came out and they said, listen, we want to go ahead and expand the amount of homes we have in these areas. What do we do about power consumption? So what they do is they go out, the power company, they give rebates. So they'll say, okay, well, listen, you have an old air conditioner. We're going to go ahead and give you a $2,000 rebate. Please go ahead and put this in. So you put in something that's energy efficient.
Wow.
I cannot tell you how many ministers I personally have been to, from the F&M to the PLP, back to the F&M, back to the PLP. Nobody wants to listen. So let me put things into perspective so it makes sense. We sell air conditioners from the minimum efficiency, which is a 13 SEER, all the way up to we have air conditioners that are 42 SEER. Now, the government will go out, and I push for this time and time again, and I ask the government, listen, when you guys do a rate adjustment when it comes to tariffs, go ahead and anything below a certain SEER, leave that tariff much higher.
Right.
Anything that's above a certain SEER, you go ahead and reduce the tariff down to what it is today. But the government doesn't listen. You know, you go and you sit in front of these ministers and they tell you, man, oh, what you're saying makes a lot of sense. Let me give you some government homes. I don't want to work in government homes. I don't want to do these things. I'm trying to help to go ahead and offset some of these charges. So when you talk about the summer months, the reason that the load at Clifton and on the islands are so high is because they've dropped the tariff rate on air conditioners across the board.
Right.
And everybody is buying the cheapest thing on the market.
Yep.
So if you have to put into perspective the difference between the regular SEER, which is our low SEER and our high SEER, I would say that the difference is probably 70 to 30. So 70% of your market is buying the cheapest thing on the market because they want cool air. But if we would offset the tariff, we would go ahead and sell a very efficient unit for the same price.
Yeah.
So it forces people to spend, and it's not much more money. It really is not. But it hurts my heart. Even my suppliers, they ask me all the time, why is the Bahamas so backwards when it comes to this? And I tell them, this is all policy.
Yeah.
This is 100% policy. And this could be changed with the stroke of a pen. And this, we could get this thing fixed immediately, one. Two, at the end of the day, the government should really look at what you could do when it comes to putting together some sort of rebates. Because the average person that has let's go to your house. Let's say you have an old 13 SEER unit. I could walk in there and say, hey, listen, Dwight, we can go ahead and change this out for you. BPL, once we do this, they're going to go ahead and give you a $750 credit. You know what I mean? That you can go ahead and write off of your bill over the next 12 or 24 months. That's nothing. And what it does is it offsets our power plant so we don't have to continually keep adding megawatts and megawatts and megawatts. We could fix this super easily like every other normal country.
Well, I think some people like us to have very high bills to owe them money, I suspect. That's just the
probably.
I have. But let me ask you this. So is this true that I've heard that once you get over 28, 29 SEER into the 30s and 40s, that the savings are not going to be really worth it? Is that correct? Or do you need to go as high as possible?
No. So when you talk about the SEER rating, when you have this big gap in SEER, let's say from a 21 SEER up to say a 42 SEER, that really only applies on a very small system. So like a 9,000 BTU, 12,000 BTU. When you start getting up into central air conditioning, for example, a 21 SEER series, when you get to say a 5-ton on that particular unit may only be about a 17.5 SEER. So there's a big gap there. But the point is the difference nowadays is that these newer units are what we call inverters. And it's like I always use the analogy of a light dimmer. So when you walk into a house, depending on what the mood is, you set your light, right? And the same thing with an air conditioner. When you have an inverter, it's not an on-off. So what that means is depending on what the load is on the house, the system will regulate itself. So you get a lot of efficiency savings that way.
Yeah.
So it drops the amperage considerably. But what that ends up doing is you could change one system in one home. Let's say you go into Treasure Cove and you go ahead and say, let's go ahead and address the water heater and address the air conditioner. By addressing those two, I have enough consumption to go ahead and build 3 more houses. And that's how developers look at certain areas. Okay, how much power do we have in this area? What do we need to do to offset this power so that we can build 100 more homes? In the Bahamas, we just keep building and building and building and building, and no one is taking a holistic look at what we need to do to bring down the cost of electricity, to reduce the amount of consumption. Let's go to Abaco, for example. I have a house in Abaco that we have a solar system on, and we basically, my electric bill for a 4-bedroom house and a 2-bedroom house cost me about $80 a month.
Wow.
4 bedrooms and a 2-bedroom home where we have to go ahead and make our own water with RO. That system cost me about $30,000 with solar and backup batteries, but it works. Those are rebates that between the electrical company, BPL, and the government should be working with the consumers with. There should be rebates here that offset some of these costs. You don't have to pay it, day one, but they go ahead and say, okay, we're going to go ahead and reduce your electric bill. We'll give you a credit of $30 a month for the next year, 2 years, whatever it ends up being.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate your contribution. Thank you.
No
Thank
problem.
you. Hopefully they will listen to you. Somebody will listen to you one day. My God. But we're seeing this all over the world. Why are we stuck, it seems? Stuck. Let's take some more calls before we have to go to the news. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Are you there? Good morning. Hi.
Yes. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
This situation is just so laughable. I've been on solar since April, and this whole myth about estimating people's bills or whether they're shooting the gun at the thing or whatever, that is totally out of the window. Yes, they are estimating. I have 4 bills from BPO, and one of my units is totally off grid. And I'll read you what the bill says. It says, this current bill was estimated. The total usage will be adjusted based on meter reading.
Oh, my God.
So, of course, we called BPL, spoke with one of the people, let them know, look, this thing is on solar. The meter hasn't moved since April. It's at the same position. 0 power has been used.
What was the bill?
Please send somebody. Shoot the gun at it. Look at the meter and see and verify that there's no power being used.
What was the bill? What was
April?
What was the bill that you got? How much?
The bill, they charged $76.65. That's the bill we got in May. 0 power usage. Then the next month they charged another $76.65. Now in August, are we in August now? Because I lost track.
It is August, yes.
It's now up to $285.58 for 0 power. The system has been on solar, battery backup, off grid. So when people,
And you've been paying the $70 each month, or so?
Hell to the no.
So okay, so that's cumulative then. So it's 200 something. Yeah, okay.
Because from our first interaction with BPL after this happened was, we're going to adjust it.
Well, did they turn you off? I mean, that's funny. You're not on, but did they turn you off? I mean, so because you 2 months, you're still getting bills.
It's their meter. Come and turn it off.
Okay, interesting.
And actually, someone was here. Finally, came last month from BPL, looked at the meter, verified that it hasn't moved since April, and they're going to tell me, "Oops, we all those charges from April till now, you got to pay."
Wow. So what's going to happen if you don't?
So even when people do their part, get solar, come off the grid, reduce the load, so we don't have to engage in load sharing or load shedding or whatever they call it.
You're still getting
do their
stuck.
part.
Yeah.
This is what you get.
Oh boy, that is amazing. Wow, we got to go to the news. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 4224796 on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC. 422-4796. And now at 8:27, it's time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. So we've got a heat advisory in effect for the entire country today. Expect feel-like temperatures to reach as upwards of 112 Fahrenheit. Can you imagine? And everyone's being advised to remain hydrated and stay out of the sun if you can. Seek shaded areas and avoid physical activity between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. if you're outdoors. So moisture left in the wake of Hurricane Erin will continue to support isolated showers, especially during peak daytime heating hours. Additionally, light winds across the northern and central Bahamas combined with weak ridging will give some extremely warm temperatures across most areas today, and hazardous beaching conditions will continue along northern and eastern Atlantic exposures. The light to gentle breezes will continue until next week across most of the country as high-pressure ridging attempts to reestablish itself. And so we're expecting the very warm temperatures and high UV indices to continue for the next few days. There's also a moderate risk of rip currents and rough surf along all Atlantic exposures. Again, beachgoers really advised to stay out of the water for at least the next few days, especially along Atlantic exposed coastlines. There remains a risk of coastal flooding and coastal erosion as well. And once again, the UV index going to be in the triple digits, or in the peak and extreme in the heat index will be in the triple digits today. So for today, your forecast for most areas, a mix of sun and clouds, turning fair tonight, 20 to 30% chance of isolated showers and afternoon thunderstorms. For the southeast Bahamas, look for partly sunny conditions today, turning 10 to 20% chance of showers and afternoon thunderstorms. High temperatures will be around 95 Fahrenheit, 35 Celsius, but that heat index again will make it feel like it's 112, 113 Fahrenheit, 45 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to 79 Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. In your extended outlook for Saturday, partly sunny, turning fair at night for the southeast Bahamas. For the rest of the country, a mix of sun and clouds, becoming fair at night. Partly sunny, turning fair at night for Sunday, and again a mix of sun and clouds from Monday into Tuesday. In the tropics, Erin is still out there in the Atlantic, but we're also watching three areas. One near the Leeward Islands, a tropical wave a couple hundred miles east-northeast of the northern Leeward Islands. Environmental conditions appear conducive for further development. Formation chance through 7 days is high at about 80%. Then in the central Atlantic, a tropical wave about 1,000 miles west-southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands. It's moving towards the west at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Formation chance through 7 days is about 60%. That's medium. And then a small area of low pressure well southwest of the Azores, that is likely to dissipate over the next day or so as it moves very little. Formation chance through 7 to about 10%. That's your morning blend weather check brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. Ready to refresh your space? We'll head to your local Sherwin-Williams for premium paint, pro tips, and everyday deals that make it easy to get started. And it's time for a check of traffic brought to you by RBC. With RBC, your ideas happen here. In your real-time traffic, we're seeing some heavy traffic on Milo Butler Highway from just north of the Fire Trail roundabout up to Tonic Williams Darling Highway. That's as you approach Harold Pond, you'll see that if you're heading northbound. Elsewhere, not looking so bad in most areas. We've got just a bit of congestion. The East Street and East-West Highway roundabout, if you're heading northbound on East Street, you'll see that. And really not much else to complain about. Things likely to be different next week, and especially the week after as schools reopen. But that is your Morning Blend weather check. Also brought to you by NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers. Whether you're on the road or planning your next move, they've got you covered. Visit NUAinsurance.com for an instant motor quote or stop by your nearest branch today. We're back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong with you on this Friday morning. Coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to be talking with the U.S. Embassy about the move to their big new embassy building. That's coming up in just a bit. Just want to get through the last of your text messages. We've been talking about BPL, especially during the summer months on some of the family islands. It's been quite a few months of challenges. And people all over the country, especially here in your province, complaining about their electricity bills and getting a reaction to what the CEO is saying is the reason for these bills. So we're having a great conversation this morning. A lot of your text messages, we want to get to those, and you can continue to send them 422-4796. Got just a few more minutes for a few more calls. 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259. All right, so this text here, this person says here, while there is perhaps some credence to what the CEO is saying, they're calling it mumbo jumbo. I personally don't buy it because I've traveled for 5 days, left my AC off, and my bill was still higher than it was last year with less usage than the same period last year. Wow. Okay. Yeah, what's that about, right? As you heard a previous caller say, a lot of this is estimates, so my goodness. But then, I don't understand. I don't know what to say. This person says that Tony Seymour's response is very clear, believable, and truthful. I agree with you, Dwight. She did an excellent job explaining why costs normally increase in the summer. Maybe we need her to explain the BPL deal. Well, she'll have a chance to once they work it out. I have a question for the embassy officials. Okay, well, we'll get to that in a bit. We'll get to that in just a bit. As I listen to the show this morning, all I hear is crying, but we won't get any blessings until we retire most of the current politicians. Current was not the word they used. Okay, we are too passive as people. We won't lock the country down and expel most of them and their families. What? Okay. All right. Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot. This texture says here, diesel burns long and is more efficient than petrol. So what is the minister's point? Well, it's still expensive, though. That's the point. It's expensive. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Dwight of Bahamas. I appreciate the explanation from the president or whatever it is
CEO.
of BPL.
CEO. Mm-hmm.
CEO. Well, she's dead right. If you pay careful attention, she's repeating what I've said. So she eloquently restated the problem. I said that we have radiant heat. We talk about Grand Bahama, the external heat, internal heat, your consumption, your equipment will work a lot harder. All of these is part of an analysis that has to be done. Remember I said that BPL has a defective needs analysis at best. And it's the government of the Bahamas has no energy strategy hiding behind BPL because, I listened to what John said also. And first of all, success is how well you have done based on what you're capable of done, not how well you've done based on the failure or success of others. So the problem is that we have gaslighters in governance, and I've had it. BPL problem has been expressed by myself and other professionals who have told us for 25 of our 53 years at the beginning of the 21st century that the need for energy would grow exponentially. The concept of the guy talked about Florida, we've talked about those too. I guarantee you that he is one of many among myself who have told the government concerning the need for reduction and demand on the system before you sign us for contract. You also, and this is where Dwight, the media, and other people, because the government can listen to me. They're listening now, but they're not going to respond. Where's the needs analysis? Where's the gaps analysis? Where's our current SWOT? Where's our current PESTEL? Where's the strategy that shows the immediate need, the short-term need, the medium need, long-term need, and the strategy to resolve this? Did you hear what she said about Dorian? Dwight, Dorian was 2,183 days ago. In 10 days, it would be 72 months, 6 years ago. 6 years ago, they're just realizing that these were the impact that Dorian had on them and the strategy to resolve these issues in spite of the exponential growth of energy. This shows, Dwight, ineptitude, incompetence, incapability, and I don't know what else. Because at minimum, you should have to understand the problem before you even be able to address it as a solution. No one has to find exactly what is our problem. What we hear is these are things that came up, broken as we run, and we're trying to fix it, we're trying to repair it. Okay. This, what's going to, remember you said, right, consider this. There is no business in the Bahamas that pays an electricity bill. None. It's a pass-through, just like the energy charge. There is no business in the 21st century that does not rely exponentially on energy. That means the Bahamian economy cannot grow, will not grow, because even when you have people, if they have an increase in salary, it is recycled because it's sucked out of the economy through the energy cost, and it never has the opportunity to recycle. And so what we need is a strategy growth of this economy that addresses every single issue. What we need, Dwight, is a gap analysis of where we are today as a country, house by house, person by person, house by house, community by community, constituency by constituency, island by island.
Yeah, okay, we get it. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Final call, really quickly, caller. You got about 30 seconds. Are you there? No? Hi, you're on.
I'm here. How you doing?
Doing well. Good morning.
I just want to make one statement here. Right? If the government is so care about our what we're going through as it relates to BPL, why can't they at least take the 10% back off her? You think that would ease us a bit, right?
Well, remember, if your bill is under $400, there is no VAT.
If it's under $400, there's no VAT?
Right.
That can't be the case still, because I received mine.
You sure?
It's not under 4, and I see VAT there.
Yeah, you sure?
Yeah, so not maybe what? That's probably been discontinued. I don't think
so.
Still in existence.
No, it still is.
But I'll look into it.
Yeah. Look into it.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. Yeah, wow. And this final text as we go to the break, this person says here, I wanted to respond to the point that managing in our we have people trained for over a decade to handle these challenges, and in the U.S., officials manage 20 to 50 times our size. Shouldn't we consider hiring individuals with that level of capability or manage the Bahamas more effectively? Well, okay. Generally, those folks are elected. You elect folks who will decide that we don't need to have a centralized government that makes every decision, and that we can delegate and distribute and decentralize. But you have to elect the right people, and people who are speaking like that. And there aren't many who are. And so that's why we are where we are. But that's for another show. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the U.S. Embassy and their big move. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Turn up the treble, radical mind day and night all the time. 714, wise, divine, maniac, radiac, winning the game. I'm the lyrical Jesse James. Quality, I possess, some say I'm fresh. When my voice goes through the mesh of the microphone that I am holding. Copywritten lyrics so they can't be stolen if they all snap. Don't need the police to try to say them, your voice will see. So peace, stay off my back or I will attack. And you don't want that.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
When it comes to hearts at Cleveland Clinic, you can't miss a beat. You seek the best care possible, work with the brightest minds, and leave no stone unturned to get to the heart of the matter. Because understanding is always the first step to overcoming. For every heart in the world, see how we're advancing the future of heart care at Cleveland Clinic today.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Bahamas.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
Spend and stay this summer with CIBC Caribbean. Experience summer like never before when you spend with your CIBC Caribbean Visa credit card. The lucky winner will receive the gift of relaxation and summer fun with a $3,000 travel voucher, a $1,000 cash prize, or a $500 spa gift certificate. Each time you spend $150 or more, you'll automatically be entered for your chance to win. Spend today with your CIBC Caribbean Visa credit card. Terms and conditions apply. Visit CIBCCaribbean.com/summer spend and stay. Promotion ends September 30th, 2025.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
I hopped off the plane at Elegant. Welcome to the land of fame excess. Am I gonna fit in? Jumped in the cab, here I am for the first time. Look to my right and I see the Hollywood sign. This is all so crazy. Everybody seems so famous. My tummy's turning and I'm feeling kinda homesick. Too much pressure and I'm nervous. That's when the taxi man turned on the radio and a Jay-Z song was on. And the Jay-Z song was on. And the Jay-Z song was on. So I put my hands up to play my song. The butterflies fly away. Nodding my head like yeah. Moving my hips like yeah. Got my hands up to play my song. And know I'm gonna be okay. Yeah. It's a party in the USA. Yeah. It's a party in the USA.
We are back with Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan. Okay, so we're changing gears now. The U.S. Embassy finally moving to that beautiful building on Shirley Street. And we're very happy to have with us Consular Section Chief Karina Kanan, and we have Public Affairs Officer Ali Carter-Olson, the new Public Affairs Officer. Good morning. Great to have you both with us.
Good morning. Thank you so much.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having us.
All right, so this is a long time coming, but finally, yeah. And we heard on the news this morning that you're moving after a very long has it been now?
52 years. Man. And you can imagine moving out of a building after 52 years. Like, that takes some work. Like, there are files there. There are, outdated things. Everybody's got to clean their stuff out. It is a
boy.
huge process.
Yeah. So when is that coming to an end, and when are you finally going to officially be in the new complex?
So the embassy will close for regular business on Tuesday next week, the 26th.
Wow.
And will be closed through Monday, September 1st. We are going to open to the public again and regular services at 235 Shirley Street on the 2nd.
Okay. Wow. All right. So you mentioned it. A lot of people moving, a lot of things to be moved. If you're going to be closed during that time, what will happen to people who need services?
So in general, we're simply closed to public business. But Karina can discuss, for American citizens, we will always be able to provide emergency consular services.
Okay.
Yes, that's right. So while the embassy will be closed, we won't be having any routine, like that's all going to be shut down while we move everything, reconnect everything. If there is a U.S. citizen experiencing an emergency, because of course with the volume of U.S. citizen residents and visitors here, of course that happens. And by emergency, I mean death cases, arrest cases. Serious hospitalizations, medevacs, that sort of thing. They should call the embassy main number, which will continue to function throughout the move. That number is 322-1181. It's probably familiar to a lot of the listeners. Again, that's 322-1181, and then they'll be connected to a consular officer who will help them in that emergency. But we would ask everyone, please do not utilize that number and clog the phone lines with routine questions. Please don't call about a visa question or a passport question. That's really just for emergencies so that we can respond to those emergencies while we move.
Right.
Thank you.
And the 1st is a holiday in the U.S. anyway, so it would have
Labor
been
Day.
closed in any event.
That's correct.
Right. All right. So I don't know. Can you tell us about what the move entails? How that's going to look without divulging any secrets or anything? But I mean, how does that work exactly?
I can tell you that it is truly an all hands on deck effort. Every person in the embassy, the charge right down to our locally employed guard staff, is going to be working full time every day, along with movers, to pack everything up in stages, move it over to the new embassy, get it connected and set up. And I mean, we're so excited about how this new embassy is going to transform our outreach and our collaboration with the government and people of the Bahamas. I have to say, so I am the new public affairs officer. Right. I can't tell you how excited I am to welcome people for public events in this beautiful new space.
Yeah.
It is stunning.
It is
and
very
I know
nice.
you guys have been watching it under construction for 6 years, and the day is finally here. We can start bringing people in and really using it. To collaborate and build a better future for the people of the Bahamas and the people of the United States.
So tell us more about that. How will it help? How, for those who aren't familiar, how is an embassy helpful and how is it used?
Absolutely. So I can talk a little bit about the big picture, and then I think your listeners will want to hear from Karina about the fabulous new consular space. Woohoo! In a new modern embassy, we have a variety of spaces to hold public-facing events where we can for conferences and meetings, and there are a number of spaces in the new embassy. In addition, we have various sections and agencies that collaborate with the Bahamian government and people on policing matters, on maritime security, on economic development. And so we'll have the space and facilities to invite our contacts in, have those meetings, plan together for all of our programming. We will just simply have the space and ability to host things in a way we certainly haven't on Queen Street. Though that building holds a lot of memories, and those memories take up a lot of space.
Yeah, right. Wow.
But talk a little bit about the about the consular space.
Absolutely. So I think most Bahamians, their interaction with the embassy is through the consular section, right? Who hasn't come and applied for a visa over the years or applied for a passport passport for their U.S. citizen child born in the U.S., or any number of services, right? We outgrew that space a long time ago. And the space, I don't know the last time you were there, Dwight.
Oh,
but,
I know.
Okay, you know. It's small, it's outdated, cramped. So we, especially in the consular side, are thrilled. The consular, there'll be a different consular entrance than the main entrance. It's a bit to the left as you face the it's a beautiful entrance. And then the waiting room is just larger. The booths, everything is new, more spacious. In our waiting room, we have a smaller tables for children because, of course, so many children come. So it's better all around. We're so excited. We want people to come. We care very much about providing good customer service, and it's been a challenge to do that, at least with the physical environment in this old building.
Yeah.
So, and then on the meeting side, of course, on the consular side, just like the other sections of the embassy, we haven't been able to invite our partners and all the stakeholders on all of our projects for protecting U.S. citizens overseas and promoting the safety and security of U.S. citizens overseas. We always go out for those meetings. So It's going to be so wonderful to be able to welcome our partners in different government agencies and offices and private sector and business over to the new embassy. So we're thrilled. It's really ushering in a new age for us here.
Yeah, very exciting. So we know it's gotten better, definitely, with the lines you would see on Queen Street. Would that be better now that you have the bigger space?
There's still going to be lines because, of course, there has to be screening. And I'm so glad you asked me that question, because if you don't mind, the one part that I wanted my staff who's listening, shout out to my hardworking consular staff. We have some folks so dedicated, and they really care about providing good customer service, and they wanted me to get out this message, if I could, please,
Absolutely.
to the listeners. When we do reopen starting September 2nd and you come in for your appointment, if you're coming for a visa appointment, please remember to bring, these are the things that sound small, but they can really delay your case, and they can delay. Please bring a photo if you're applying for a visa taken within the last 6 months, as well as any prior passport containing any still valid visa that you have, or a police report if the prior visa would still be valid but was lost or stolen. These are very common things that people forget to bring, and it delays their case. Also, please plan to leave your cell phones and other electronics, as well as any item containing a camera or a chip, and cosmetic liquids such as perfume at home, so that you can pass through security with ease.
Okay.
We have a lot of folks bringing their cell phones, bringing earbuds, bringing cameras. I think we've had an uptick in people bringing rings with cameras. The security, that all delays the security screening, and that contributes to a very long line.
Okay,
Yep.
okay, that's good to know.
Thanks for letting me get that out.
No
there.
problem. So how many employees are going to be there, or do you have? What can you tell us?
For the section or the embassy? as a whole?
For the embassy as a whole? Or is that
gosh,
classified information?
I think that's top secret.
Okay.
Top secret. No, I
Enough. We have enough.
I believe we have almost 100 employees
fine.
between the embassy itself and at the airport. The CBP facility at the airport, where our folks can do pre-clearance to go to the United States, they will remain there. But the rest of us are all moving over to the main embassy.
Texter's asking about keys. Can that be a problem if they bring their keys? Do they need to leave that anywhere?
If you have some sort of unusual electronic fob, maybe that's a problem. But a normal key, no.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
And you mentioned chips, but bank card chips, no,
No,
not that
that's
type of
fine.
chips.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
all right.
yeah. And what we have problems with sometimes, people bring a large bag. You might say, why would someone bring a large bag full of random items? It happens. So just avoid that, please.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So if you're going to be closed for a few days, and students are trying to get back to school, what does that mean for them?
Yeah. That's unfortunately, we are in the thick of student visa season now.
Right.
We've been trying to get out there. Please apply early. As always, I'm happy to reiterate that message again now. But for those who didn't, we do have appointment availability for after the move. Now, unfortunately, we're right up against it right now. You're out of luck for next week,
Yeah.
but we will have appointment availability once we reopen for emergency appointments. Anyone who has an appointment booked, if they want, everyone gets one chance to request an expedite. Do that through the same system through which you book the appointment. Everyone can make their request. I will say we do try to grant that expedite request for everyone.
Yeah.
So especially for students, I will tell you we've been interviewing and issuing and printing student visas steadily throughout the summer. So we got hundreds of those student visas out the door, and we know folks are on their way. And we do have appointment availability. I just checked last night for September even.
Okay.
So we do not have a very long wait time for either a visitor visa or a student visa appointment.
Excellent.
Here.
Excellent. All right. Anything else that people need to know about the move and any changes that might be coming as a result of this?
I guess I would just say I think that you're going to look forward to seeing a lot more very exciting public events because, of course, in addition to moving, we are approaching the 250th anniversary of the United States. And both in the United States and in embassies around the world, we are putting together very exciting slates of programming. And we're very hopeful we'll be able to welcome you to the new space to look at how the Bahamas and the United States have been connected throughout that time.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be an amazing year.
It's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. Yeah.
And so, Allie, you get all the fun big picture stuff. I'm like, let me just mention two more specific things that I think will be really helpful to the listeners. Please, if I could just plug our website. I know sometimes websites can be daunting for folks. They say, oh, I don't know how to find the information, but we really do have people have a lot of different questions, and so we've tried to answer all those questions and put that information online. If I could just put in a plug for our embassy website, which is bs.usembassy.gov. And just to repeat that, bs.usembassy.gov. If you go to our visas page or you go to our passport page, our U.S. Citizen Services page, we have contact number for customer service. We have a question navigator. We have a lot of information. I think people will find the answers to their questions there if they take a look. I also want to put in a plug for our STEP, which is our Smart Traveler Enrollment Program. You can link to that from the embassy website again. And once you enroll with STEP, when we put out a message with really important information that we think is going to be useful to the public, sometimes that's a weather alert if a hurricane's coming. Right. But sometimes it might be really useful information, like we're going to put one out about the move to the new one. And if you're not enrolled, you're not going to get that message. Now we will post it to the website, so either or. But thanks for letting me put in the plug for getting that from our website. There's a lot of disinformation out there. Sometimes people will get WhatsApps forwarded to us, screenshots. You don't know what the origin of that was. So I always like to remind people, please go to the origin source, because that's where you're going to get the best information, and that's at bs.usembassy.gov.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
We're talking with Karina Kanan and Allie Carter Olson with the U.S. Embassy here in Nassau. Got a few text messages, questions from our listeners. This person's asking, all right, so where will the public have to wait, and is there any special parking once you do have an appointment? We used to sit outside with numbers. Will that still be like that? And where would that be?
No numbers. People have an appointment time, so just show up in advance of your appointment time. I also heard, let me go off on a brief tangent. We were having a little celebration, pre-move celebration with our staff, and some of our longest serving staff were reminiscing and entertaining us with their reminiscences from over the years. And one staff member told us, I remember back when people used to arrive the night before and sleep outside. Goodness. And we said, what?
I remember that.
Oh, my goodness.
You had to be there 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
They're over. They are long over.
Right. No, that doesn't happen anymore.
That doesn't happen anymore.
No.
But I'm glad that the caller did ask about parking. So we know parking can be an issue on Shirley Street, and there is not on-street parking in the area. So we, unfortunately, there's not a large parking spot devoted for. So just encourage applicants to please plan ahead for your visit. If you can't get dropped off, or you think ahead about where you might go and park, that could be an issue. And the entrance for the consular section again is off Shirley Street as you're facing the embassy to the left. There's a guard entry point.
East Street. Is that East Street?
No, on Shirley Street.
Shirley.
Yeah, as you're facing,
right.
the new embassy is facing out to Shirley Street. As you look towards it from Shirley, it'll be to the left.
Right there. Okay, fine. This person says here, congratulations. Will we still have to send visa applications to the U.S. before the local embassy interview, or will everything be done locally? Was that how it was? That wasn't like that.
No, you don't send them to the U.S. No.
That's why we have an embassy.
And if you have, by the way, a lot of people don't realize, we see people who still think they need to book an appointment for an interview. If your current visitor visa expired within the last 12 months, or if it's still valid, you qualify for our interview waiver program.
Okay.
So you can, if you answer all your questions correctly on your application, the system should prompt you to simply mail that in through DHL. And you don't need to book an interview.
Excellent. So this person's asking, are you going to be having an auction for the stuff at Queen Street?
Good question.
I am not 100% up to date on exactly all the plans for selling things off, but I do know that we have auctions regularly, and we will absolutely post that on our website and then also on our social media pages. And those are also great places to go when you're looking for information about the move. We are on Facebook, Twitter, X, and Instagram, and it is U.S. Embassy Nassau on all of those places.
So do you know what's going to happen with the building?
We believe we've heard that it's going to be sold, but I'm not familiar with the process for that.
Okay.
At some point it is decommissioned and we're just moving forward.
52 years.
Time coming.
Yeah, that is something else. Well, again, congratulations. This is very exciting. It is definitely a beautiful building. We got the chance to go there last year. It was a soft opening, I guess it was. Fantastic, and it's going to be very special. But thank you again for being here, Karina Kanan and Allie Carter-Olson. And I'm going to be seeing you all a lot more, I guess, over the next few years. So thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
All right, we're going to break for news and be back with business. We're talking with Easy Car Sales and their BYD Owners Club. We're going to get into that with them and more. Stay with us here. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
And the Jay-Z song was on, and the Jay-Z song was on. So I put my hands up to playing that song. The butterflies fly away. Nodding my head like yeah, moving my hips like yeah. Got my hands up to playing my song. I know I'm gonna be okay. Yeah, it's a party in the USA.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Friday, August 22nd, 2025. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan, and this morning we are very happy to have our friends from Easy Car Sales with us, and they've got a lot going on, as always. BYD Owners Club, back to school promotion, plus it's almost 2026, so the new models are coming in. So there's a lot happening. Pia Farmer, I almost called you the other that you told that story. Risa, Noel, and Roseanne Johnson. Welcome back. Great to have you all with us.
Good morning. Good morning, Bahamas. Happy Friday.
All right. We also have a fourth guest. This big giant gift if you're watching us on our video stream.
This is a surprise.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Is it for me or?
Yes.
What?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it's for you.
Okay.
I will explain why.
We'll explain later.
Yes.
All right. So where do we begin? You've got a lot going on.
Gosh, yes. We have so many things going on as usual. We opened our showroom in the mall.
Yeah.
That is just so
Beautiful.
busy, and it's working out really well. And we have a promotion month, which is a back to school promotion. And if Roseanne would like to tell everybody about it.
Yeah, so we always all about the test drives. We love putting people in the seats of BYD vehicles, electric vehicles, and so this month we are doing a test drive event. So everybody that comes in and signs up to do a test drive, they enter to win a laptop bundle.
Oh, wow.
So in keeping with back to school, it's a laptop bag, and a printer. And so we're getting some lucky person ready for, work in the classroom or at your home office. But, come on down, take a test drive in any one of our vehicles, any of our 3 locations, and you're automatically entered to win.
Just for the test drive.
Just for the test drive,
Yeah, you don't have to buy a car to put
No.
in a computer.
And then on August 30th, we're going to have a beautiful event in our cool, comfortable convenient showroom at the mall at Marathon. So we'll be drawing the winner from the type
That's
event.
on Saturday.
On Saturday,
Saturday
August
the 30th. So not this Saturday, next Saturday.
Yeah.
And Dasque is going to be
Yes, our
emceeing the
host.
event. It's at 4 p.m. at the mall next week. So you really only have another week
Just
to
1 week.
come and test before the drawing takes place. And I have to mention that the computer bundle is from Custom Computers.
Yes.
Yes, we shout out to all our Custom Computers people. So they have provided the HP laptop and printer and so on. So this is a great opportunity now. Bring your family, bring the kids, and come and do a test drive either at the mall or on the East-West Highway right diagonally across from the mall, which is our EV city, or on Gladstone Road,
Right.
where you've known we've been for a long time. So any of the 3 locations, you come, you take a test drive, and learn a little bit about EVs if you haven't been in one before. Bring the kids so they can learn about EVs because, they won't be driving gas cars. They'll be driving
Likely not.
electric cars.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sustainability is the future. And this is kind of an extension.
Get a little
This-
closer to the mic, Grace.
Sorry.
All right,
Yeah,
there you go.
so-
You can pull it towards you.
As I was saying, yes, sustainability is the future, and we know this is the way that things are going in the world now. This is an extension of what we had done previously with our teachers promotion, specifically for back to school. It's not just for teachers. It's not just for educators.
Right.
It's for this promotion is open to anyone. Students, teachers, people going to work, anybody that, this is back to school time. There's all sorts of sales and things going on right around now. So this is the time, this is your last week to really take advantage of this promotion. Come in, sign up, take your test drive, and you have that chance to get something you need to really put in that work to get your work done.
Yeah.
With these tools from Custom Computers.
Excellent, excellent stuff.
Absolutely.
I'm very curious about people's response to the test drive, especially the folks who have been on the fence about electric vehicles.
Listen.
What do they experience?
Listen,
What's it like
they
for them?
love it. Okay, this is the whole key, is that people have a lot of opinions, there's a lot of information and a lot of misinformation out there. So the best thing is to come and evaluate it yourself, right? And so people love driving electric. I mean, we really don't ever hear otherwise from people when they try the car. But then when you get in the car, you can see it's such a smooth car. It's so responsive. It's quiet. And then, you drive better when you know that you're saving money, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So driving electric, even though our BPL prices are high, is still less than a third than gasoline. Less than a third of gasoline costs.
Yeah.
And then also the maintenance is very simple. It's just once a year. And there are 1,000 fewer parts that you have to maintain, replace, service, or end up at
Yeah.
the eco park, not to say the garbage dump, the eco park,
Right.
which I'm very proud of, actually. I think
And I'm
they-
glad you mentioned BPL because folks who have electric vehicles who charge at home don't really see jump in their bill.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So let's talk more about that. Explain that, because a lot of people probably saying, "Well, if I got an electric vehicle, my gosh, I can't afford BPL now. Imagine what would happen if I have to charge a car."
Okay, so just to put it simply, in a way, it's when you buy a gallon of gas at the gas station, you can go about 25 miles, maybe 30, maybe less, depending on your model. But let's say average 25 miles on a gallon. To go 25 miles in an electric car, you need 5 kilowatts of electricity, more or less, again, depending on the power of the car. So a gallon of gas, I don't know, what does it cost? I haven't been to the gas station.
Let's look at the
$5.30.
558.
All right,
Between
$6.
548 and 558. yeah.
Okay, so let's say, rounding things off just because I'm not good at math, $6 for a gallon of gas. 5 kilowatts, even at the highest rate with the highest whatever, is $2 maximum at 40 cents per kilowatt hour. I don't pay 40 cents. Most people don't. But so it's a question of numbers. It's not guessing. It's not wishful thinking. It's facts. A gallon of gas to go to 25 miles is $6. To go 25 miles in an electric car, you need 5 kilowatts. Each kilowatt is maximum 40 cents. It's $2. It's actually less than $2.
Yeah.
So those other $4 that you didn't spend at the gas station, you can put in your pocket. You could buy uniforms. You could spend at the food store. It can go into our local economy, which is very important. Plus, you don't have to go to the gas station. I mean, I don't know how many people look forward to it, you know. But you could go there and get a snack, you know, with the $4 you save.
Ice. You can get ice to cool down these hot days
So
and summers.
what is, we also know how many kilowatts to completely charge up your battery because we know how many kilowatts are in your battery. So then you know how much it is to fill up. So every battery is different depending on the size of the car. But you can probably fill up your car for $20 with electricity as opposed to going to spend 4 times that or 3 times that at the gas station.
Yeah.
So it's just numbers, it's just figures. And it doesn't mean that your bill is going to jump enormously because we only charge maybe once a week. You know, if you drive a lot,
Yeah.
or businesses or whatever, they might charge more. But then they would have spent more money on gas anyway.
Absolutely. Yeah. You find yourself still having to explain this to people, or are people still asking that a lot, or are they getting it?
Yeah, people are still asking the same questions. And that's why these test drive events are so important because, you know, they can come in and actually get the facts. And, you know, more and more, a lot of people are coming in because, you know, they see more and more vehicles on the road and it can't be as bad as they would thought. Otherwise, you know, so many drivers wouldn't have switched to electric mobility.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And they don't go back to gas.
No.
You know, we have never had, in the last, since we started in 2016, come back and say, oh no, I hate the electric car. Never. And I always tell them it's going to change your life. And they laugh at me, right? As they drive off the first time. And when they come back a year later, I go, how is it? Oh, it changed my life. It's much less stress. It always works. When you press the accelerator, it goes. It's not hesitating. It's not thinking about it. It's not, you know.
Waiting to shift a gear.
Yeah. And then at the same time, you feel great because you're not spewing out nasty emissions when you're on the road.
Right.
So,
And another way to think of it as well is, you know, for people that are concerned about this, making this great investment, when you consider purchasing an electric vehicle, yeah, it is an investment into your future. But if you think about the fact that if you're purchasing a gas car, after that purchase and that great investment as well, you're going to have to contribute, say, $50, $100, depending on the size of your gas car, every week to continuously add on top of that already hefty your price tag that you would have paid for that vehicle. When you're using an electric vehicle or even utilizing, for example, in-house financing, which we offer at Easy Car Sales, the money that you would be saving on the expense for gas, that money can ultimately go towards what you would be paying towards in-house financing, right? To offset those expenses that would have been ultimately going to gas payments.
Right.
So would have been what's coming out of your exhaust that's just going into the air, being
Yeah.
completely useless down the line, could really be investing in your future.
And as Pia mentioned, there's so many other parts that could go wrong.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And
So
there's a
there's-
whole lot more money that can be.
Yeah, there's no
Spent.
muffler, there's no radiator as such, there's no transmission. It's all those mechanical parts go away. But to your point, also when you're investing in an EV, the price of electricity is pretty fixed. High
Right,
or low, it's
exactly.
pretty fixed. So you know that that's not really going to change a lot. Gas, I just had to ask you, what is it? This week it's 5, next week it's 6.
The war breaks out.
Yeah,
That's
that'll
right.
be
Another
8. I don't
story.
know. You know,
Yeah.
so
Supply
it is,
chain, it just fluctuates every day depending on what
Yeah.
globally is going on.
Yeah. All right, so there's a lot more to talk about, but we've got a call and some interesting text messages. This
Oh.
person says here on the text line, there's nothing like a big V8 Hemi gas engine. Will never go electric. Well, again, you need to try it. Try it before you say that. And some of these electric vehicles, the horsepower, big Ram,
They give you-
pickup
Yeah.
truck, you'd be shocked at what's
Whiplash.
going on.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, you see me overtake you on the road in my EV.
You would be blown away. So, and the only thing the Hemi has is noise,
Yeah.
plenty noise. And
Yeah.
if you're into that, then
well,
sure.
we love you. You'll work it out. You'll understand. When you know.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
We also like to say it's better. We can all tell you so many times how good it is, but the reason we encourage people to come in for a test drive, it's better for you to experience it yourself. Even if you're, skeptical about it, just come in, take some time out of your day. It's very convenient. You can take a test drive right from the mall, So just try it out yourself for
Yeah.
a few minutes one day when you're going around running your errands.
You don't have to believe us.
You don't have to believe us. Just try it.
Yeah. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Are you there? Good morning. Hi, good morning.
Hey, morning, Dwight. Guess how you doing?
Doing well.
Morning.
Hey, I was going to bring in one of those BYD Yang Wang.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
One of them who could jump over portals.
You ready? You ready for it? You got your down payment?
Jump over the roadblock. I would jump over the flood in Pinewood. Oh, my God. Let my girl making noise. I would jump over her noise.
Yeah. Oh, my gracious.
Okay.
Wow. They
Excellent.
are amazing. The
Yeah.
things that are being made now, okay? So every year there is a big car show in China. And earlier this year, it was in Shanghai. The things you see are happening now.
Yeah.
This gentleman, caller, is completely right. I mean, these cars just could jump over like a creek.
Yeah.
They're.
saw the
But
video.
we're not yet bringing these cars in because
Well, that's
they're-
their luxury line, right?
Yeah,
That's
it's
really
very
expensive.
high end.
Yeah.
It's very high end. I mean, you're talking about more than $100,000, and we're not sure that a lot of people are into that. However, our mission is to get electric vehicles into as many people's homes and use and businesses as possible. So what we're trying to do is have as many models as possible at the lowest price points, starting at the lowest price points that we can. So that is our concentration now, is to get as many people in them. And then you can special order different things. But remember that we only sell what we are authorized dealers for and authorized warranty providers for, so that we can support these vehicles with expert techs, with parts, and so on. So if you start bringing in 300 different models, you have to maintain that afterwards. You have to have techs all trained on all those models. You have to have all the parts. And we are very careful about that, having had so much experience with electric vehicles.
Yeah.
Remember, we started in 2016. So we are authorized dealers for BYD, for Geely Ridara, and for Jack. And, we'll come back and announce another one in October.
Oh, boy.
This gentleman might be very interested in.
Okay. All right. Very interesting. I'll get back to this text in a bit. You'll like this one, I think, PM. All right. So you got something else exciting going on. a BYD Owners Club.
Yes. Well, the BYD Owners Club, BYD has decided, millions of us BYD owners around the world, and we should connect more. And so what BYD has encouraged is the formation or the creation of the BYD Club to share experiences with other owners, to become more informed about the vehicle features.
Okay.
Because it's like your home computer, you know?
Right.
Like you use 10% of what that computer can do. Well, maybe you use more, but I use 10% of what the computer.
And you
So-
find out things 2 years, 3 years in, right? Like, wait, this could do this? I didn't know that.
I didn't even know that.
Exactly. So with the BYD Club, we can become more informed. We can connect with other people, share experiences, and learn a little bit more.
So this is
about
a
our
global
vehicle.
initiative.
It is.
Okay. All right.
It is. It's global, and we're just launching it now in the Bahamas. So if you're interested as a BYD vehicle owner, you can go to BYD Club at easy242.com. BYD Club at easy242. Now, .com. If you are a BYD owner, you're okay, but we want you to activate your membership so that we know that you're interested. And yes, we're going to be meeting monthly with BYD owners at the showroom, and there we're going to give information on what's the newest thing happening with BYD, what's coming, what's happening. Our team is going to show our owners different features that they might or might not know about, like remote starting your car so that the cooling can begin before you even get to the car, and all of these kinds of things.
That's the thing. Number one thing you need to know in this climate. My goodness gracious. Okay.
We have cars that cool your bum,
Yeah.
right? And heat it, but we won't mention the heat right now. I mean, the heat index today, wow.
Right.
So, and then once a month too, we're going to have random drawings for our members. And we're going to grow it. We're just starting, simply. And then there's also going to be opportunities to participate in partnership with environmental organizations on beach cleanups or events going on that support the love and maintenance of our environment. We support trees, restoration of coral, in the name of our clients, we're always working on projects like that.
Wow.
And even, feeding the Bahamas, because we are a constant supporter of the feeding network. So these opportunities for our owners to together support things that we believe in as EV drivers.
Yeah. How many do you know? How many? Of course you would know. Well, at least through Easy Car Sales, BYD owners do we have? And we know this is a growing population in the world.
Yes.
It has surpassed Tesla now?
Yes, it has. It has surpassed.
Absolutely.
As the number one EV brand.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I can speak to that as well. In terms of BYD in comparison to Tesla, if you consider the history of BYD as a brand, they actually started with the battery.
Right.
So their company all started around the battery. Your phones, your laptops, your devices that you currently have probably have a battery in it that was developed by BYD.
Wow.
So they started with the part inside that's most important of EV technology. So they only had to go about building the frame to get everything else
Yeah, and they
to
got
work.
the Germans for that.
Right. They mastered the technology to really make it work. So they have superseded other electric vehicles out there because they've been able to test and master all of those things that really need to make sure that we're
Like the Blade battery, the
with the Blade,
ultra-safe
the ultra safe Blade battery that they've done testing, even drilling through that battery, and it won't burst into flames.
Right.
So
yeah,
far beyond
there's,
Tesla.
You just have to register, and then there'll be a few things we'll ask you about and to do, and then we'll keep you informed with a newsletter every month. We're going to do the drawing, and we're going to grow it.
Right.
You know, I'm just a little nervous because there's like 1,000 people out there with
Right.
BYD, so I don't want to be overwhelmed. But we just sent some invitations out to our owners, and we're asking, are you in?
Mm-hmm.
Are you in the BYD club? Are you in? And people are replying, I'm in. So I think we've started something where we're going to have other mornings where maybe we'll have a car wash and we'll be just having coffee while the cars are getting washed. Or I don't know, we're just being creative with it. And we will grow it over time.
And you have something soon? Is that something we can talk about, or is
Yes.
that just
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay.
Yeah, again, at our Mall at Marathon showroom, we're going to be hosting coffee and talks. Like Mrs. Farmer mentioned, we're going to be showing our owners, different features and different models of the vehicles, making sure everybody is, getting more than 10% of the usage of their vehicles. And just sipping coffee and connecting, and, through shared experiences.
Excellent.
And then we're going to give away one of these surprise boxes
Mhm.
to one guest, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll do an unboxing similar to what will happen today.
You're our guinea pig.
Oh my goodness! Wow. All right, we'll get to that experiment in a bit. Let's take this call. Good morning, call. You're on the air.
Hey, morning, Dwight. I just have one question. Okay, Nassau, remember, we have king tides a lot of times, and if it rains for at least half an hour, the roads be flooded, right? Last time I recall, electricity and water don't go hand in hand. How would these cars do with these floods? You ever been to Coral Harbor before if it rained for like half a day?
Child, listen, we have been through all the same puddles as you.
Yeah.
We have been
And
through.
Pinewood is a whole different kettle of fish.
All right. So before they answer, you've seen a lot of electric vehicles on the road, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything before about
Actually,
any?
no.
Okay, that's interesting, right? You've not heard of anything, and the streets are flooded almost all the time.
That's my favorite question.
So let's get them to answer.
There's never any wrong question. I think it's great that people ask the questions and we're here to answer them.
Yeah.
So that is always a concern because you think electricity and water, they don't mix. However, the batteries are completely hermetically sealed. They're not open at all. There is no exposure where water could get to the battery like that. In fact, I watch gas cars die on the side of the road when I
an
go through all
exhaust,
these
yeah.
puddles
Yeah.
because they have an exhaust pipe, the and so forth. Electric vehicles do very well in water. Nobody has ever been electrocuted going through water in an electric vehicle. And as you can imagine, if it were dangerous, it wouldn't be spreading like, I was going to say wildfire through the world. I mean, sales of EVs around the world are just increasing dramatically. And you can imagine in Norway, they're not going to let an electric vehicle be electrocuting people or anything like that. So these vehicles are built at very, very high standards, especially the vehicles you get from an authorized dealer because they are for export, highest quality, in English, compliant with all the rules and regulations around the world. So it's not a concern, the water, unless it gets all the way up to your driver's window or windshield.
Right.
Well, then maybe
Right.
don't
And no
go
one
there.
should be doing
Yes,
that. I don't even think you should
exactly.
walk through that, right?
Right.
All right. So this texter says, the future of transportation is not via an electric propelled vehicle. The future is definitely solar or other mechanical engineering. This path is more sustainable, efficient, and revolutionary. Well,
Yes. I mean, I charge all my cars from solar now.
Right.
Okay. At home, we have connected through the small, SSRG with BPL, where we feed extra power into the grid, and we actually get paid back the fuel surcharge at its lowest level for our power.
so you could do that,
So
right?
you can do that. So I
don't
charge.
know if they mean a car with solar panels, and I don't know how
Okay.
far you'd get
Well,
on
but
that one.
I mean, let's face it. hopefully we humans are creating new things, are getting inspired, inventing new things every day. That's what we do as humans, right? So there is no doubt that one day we will have like an Elon Musk thing up there that we press a button and it automatically charges your car in 3 seconds. Surely. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. Already in Sweden, you can drive on roads that charge the car as you drive on it. Especially for big trucks and everything, they're making lanes where those transporting goods and everything are being charged as you go. So yes, I agree with the texter that we will have much improved ways. However, today, let's not get the ideal to block us from what is available today. Today, an electric car is much more efficient, much less expensive to run, and a delight to run compared to many of our opinions. So a gas car, when you put that gallon of gas in that car, more than 60% of that gas is not going to be used to push your car forward. It goes up into the air as heat, and it is wasted. So it's a very inefficient system. So as we look for more efficient, more sustainable ways, an electric motor is much more efficient. I think the figure is like 90% of the electricity going into that is being used to propel your vehicle. So that's number one. You're not wasting your resources. You're not wasting your money. And it's what is available today. And it's very comfortable today. It's not like we're asking you to go back to the horse and buggy, okay? We who drive electric are very happy with the performance of our vehicles. So yes, we will progress. In fact, one day, I don't think people will own cars anymore. We will be ride sharing everywhere. You'll just press a button, the vehicle will come. It'll probably levitate and float, or maybe go up there. I don't know, But at the moment, the most efficient way to move people and goods is through an electric vehicle.
Wow. Yeah. All right. If you have any more questions, give us a call. 323-6232. 325-435-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Got to ask you about this. There's some now fast chargers on the island. What can you tell us about that?
They're appearing, aren't they? Yes. It's not Easy Car doing the chargers, but we do know about it.
Right.
So what it is, it's a club. It's a club. So what we found is that people don't always have the ability to install the charger that comes with their car at home because they're sharing. They're in condos or they just don't have the ability to have a charger accessible. So there is a company called Park and Plug that now provides solutions for condominiums and apartments where people can share a charger. And it's done through an RFID card. And you can also belong to the club that is now putting out chargers around the island. So it allows you to use it. So you just join a club so that we can share in the usage of a charger.
Okay.
Yeah. So what to do is to go to
parkandplug242.com.
Parkandplug242.com, and you get a monthly subscription. It's a club. And then you can just charge your car as many times that are growing. So you would have seen now at the mall at Marathon.
Right.
There are 2 regular chargers, which is like the home charger, or 7 kilowatt chargers. And there is a 40 kilowatt. I think it's a 40 kilowatt.
Which is a fast charger.
Yeah.
So it's 5 times faster. So you can belong to that club. You can go there to the mall, plug in, go and do your little bit of shopping, or go to the food court, come to the showroom. And then in half an hour, 45 minutes, your car should be charged up to 80%.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think they recently launched as well like if you need an emergency top up, like a one-time fast charge as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but
I think it's like $20 for a
for a one-time full charge.
Right.
It won't ever fill 100% on a charger like that because it's very slow. The way that batteries charge, they're very quick to charge the first 80%, and the last 20% is very slow.
Okay.
So generally, it's like a one burst to 80% of your capacity, which is great. I mean, you can get around everywhere.
Yeah.
So you can go to parkandplug242.com,
Okay.
find out more about it. And that's a website. You can register for your membership, but it's not being run by Easy Car
Okay.
Sales.
All right. More options.
Yeah.
More options.
Yes, well,
Absolutely.
this is the whole thing about this election. So many opportunities for new businesses,
Right.
for new skills to be implemented, so it's a whole new world. It's the biggest revolution in transportation
Yeah.
since the combustion engine.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a lot of opportunities out there. All right. So.
Yes, is it time?
I guess it's time.
Are we not doing the trumpets?
We'd have had the band come in. But okay.
Yes, yes, what we have is BYD has asked us to do this little surprise unwrapping of this surprise gift with some people out there in the community, some owners to be, but mostly owners. So we would like to present you with this beautiful box. And if you don't mind, we wanted to video you opening it.
It's very nice. I get some pictures of it myself. Let's see.
And in the meantime, what we'll...
BYD Club on it.
Yes. And in the meantime, I just wanted to let everybody know that the 2026 vehicles are on the dock.
Okay.
Yes. So we have lots of BYD cars coming. Roseanne, you know what they are.
Yeah, we're so excited. So we have for the first time, we're going to have the BYD Yuan Up, the fully electric Song Plus. We'll have the Dolphin Mini in cute,
colors.
fun colors. Yeah, so we're very excited about everything that's up and coming, and they'll be on the lots and in the showroom very, very soon.
In the next couple week or so, because we do a check when the vehicles come in and all of that so soon. So look out for all the new vehicles coming in September.
Excellent.
From BYD. All right.
Okay.
How are we doing this now?
Yeah, I don't know. It's so pretty. I don't want to just rip it open.
That's right, Isa. You could probably pull the ribbon or something. I don't know.
We live streaming? I don't know. Okay.
Okay.
So for those owners who want to come and join our coffee morning tomorrow at the Dream Bar, we will be doing another random drawing and unwrapping of a special BYD gift tomorrow. Doesn't it sound big and exciting?
It is a very big box.
Yes, so as a part of our Recharge and Connect experience that we're having tomorrow at our BYD showroom at Marathon Mall, we will have a drawing for BYD owners
Just
rip it. Just rip it. Okay.
Yeah, just rip it. I'm great at wrapping presents, Dwight, so.
Okay.
All right, Dwight.
Here you go.
Isn't that
Oh,
pretty?
man.
Well
it's
done,
a lot
Dwight.
of stuff. Oh, hey. Are these crayons? Oh, is this a soccer ball?
Ball, so to keep you fit.
Okay, look at that. Keychain. Oh, tire. That's pretty.
Tire gauge, a thing to put your Park and Plug card onto your phone so that you have your card and you have your shirt.
Baseball caps.
Yeah.
Very nice. So this is what being in a club is going to
Yes.
feel like for the folks who join.
You have a lovely
All right, that's
notebook,
beautiful
you
stuff.
have a water bottle,
Oh, wow.
an umbrella.
Definitely need that during
Yes,
the
you
rainy
need an
season
umbrella.
in this town.
Oh, and your lovely water bottle. So you're set. Okay, you got everything. Oh, and your Tervis cup.
Oh yeah.
BYD branded.
This is.
Yes, that's
I
cool.
needed
Hey,
this,
yeah, for that
Oh, this is
Friday
fantastic.
afternoon drink.
Thank you so much.
You're very
Thank you, Easy Car
welcome.
Sales. Thank you, BYD.
Very welcome.
It's a great gift. All right, so wonderful stuff again for folks who want to join the club. If you're a BYD owner,
Visit or write to us at bydclub@easy242.com. There should also be information on our website as we grow. And if you'd like to come tomorrow, we are having our Recharge and Reconnect coffee morning at the Dream Bar. And come and
what time
meet
is that again?
10 till
10 to
12.
12, okay.
10 till 12. And then we'll keep you informed as you register to the club on other events that you can join.
Excellent. Got a text here saying this person says that they are considering a hybrid. I know how you feel about this. Isn't that a good bridge to
No.
the electric future?
That's what they're trying to sell you, yeah. They're trying to sell you because, the gas cars and the gas companies are not just going to let go just like that, right? They are going to try and keep you for as long as possible. But at Easy Car Sales, we were the first, and we're still the only company that only sells fully electric vehicles. We don't sell hybrids. We don't sell gas cars. I know there's a lot of new, inexpensive gas cars. That's because the Chinese don't want them. They're driving electric. They're not interested. China is not known for being very good at producing combustion engines. If you think about it, right? It's Japan, Germany, maybe the United States,
Korea,
whatever.
yeah.
So we're being flooded now by, gas, inexpensive Chinese cars. And that's maybe not what we love. And we don't even like hybrids because you still have to go to the gas station. Now you're going to have to maintain the combustion engine and the electric motor.
That's double the service.
And everything that makes them work together. And even if you could understand in an enormous country, you might want to have that security. In the Bahamas, we don't need hybrids. Our electric vehicles will take you 250, 300, 350, 400 miles before you have to charge again. So it's completely unnecessary. You're carrying extra weight. You're having to go to the gas station. You're going to still have to maintain we're still supporting the fossil fuel industry. All right? So let's not do that.
And you know what I find interesting, and I love and welcome all of these questions that we get from the community, is because if you think back to all of the times that there were these significant milestones and changes over the course of history with the onset of the internet, of the introduction of gas cars themselves, of the introduction of airplanes, people obviously probably had all of these kinds of questions when things came about, even going from cash to credit cards. I'm still here saying, why are we using credit cards? And people are concerned, and they have every right to have these questions. But, there comes a point, and again, to reiterate, these questions all are valid. They make complete sense. And we are so happy to continue to educate, but we really truly invite you to come in and try it for yourself. Come and look under the hood. Come into our showroom, come to any one of our 3 locations, take a look at under the hood of the electric vehicle and see what the difference is. 1,000 less parts that you have to maintain.
And then speak to owners. Don't listen or try it yourself,
Yeah,
So
you don't have to listen to us at all. Go talk to someone else that owns one.
We have 3 locations where you can come and ask your questions, test drive, and so forth. So we are at the mall at Marathon Mall, I think they're calling themselves
I
now.
see, it's changed, yeah.
Yes, right by the food court. So it's easy to get to us, and you'll see the chargers from Park and Plug right outside. We're also diagonally across the street from the mall at Abundant Life Road. You just go in the service road for Solomon's, and we're at the end there, the big lot. That's our depot. That's where all of the cars end up. And then we're always at Gladstone Road. And if not, visit us at easy242.com. And we will see you maybe at the mall tomorrow.
Excellent stuff. Thank you, ladies, so much for being with us this morning. Pia Farmer, Risa Noel, and Roseanne Johnson. Thank you. Pronouncing it right? Yeah. Thank you very much. And thank you for the gifts again. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much for always welcoming us.
Good luck with the BYD Owners Club, and I hope everybody enjoys it.
Yes, I think they will because everybody's excited already.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried too many people are going to come tomorrow.
I can see in the future everybody on a big lawn somewhere with all their BYDs talking about their models. And
Well, this is what we want to do, you know. But right now it's so hot, so we're going to be at the cool, comfortable, and convenient
that's a
mall.
good idea.
And then we'll do more things out there when the weather is a little cooler. You know, I'm old now.
But thank you again. Appreciate
Alrighty.
it. Have a great weekend.
Thank
All right, we're going to
Thank
take a
you.
break. And when we come back, our final couple minutes here of Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Get ready to catch the thrill and win with Shell. Fuel up with $20 or more and unlock your shot at unforgettable prizes.
We're talking regatta trips to Exuma and Harbor Island.
Free fuel, grocery vouchers, water park passes, and more. Just snap your receipt and WhatsApp it to us at 242-422-0271. The vibes are high, the prizes are hot, and the summer is yours to win with Shell. Only at participating Shell stations in Nassau. Now through August 22nd. Terms and conditions apply.
Now let me see now. 326 ETIC. Hello. This is Kid Battery. This Miss Beulah from round the corner. I hear you're selling tires now on Wolf Road too.
Praise the Lord. It's about time. I live Fox Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fixed up.
Call us at 326-EPIC. We ship also to the Family Island.
Back to school just got easier at Carey's Fabric and Uniform Store on Mackey Street. We've got school shirts with official embroidered logos for R.M. Bailey, S.C. McPherson, A.F. Adderley, Kingsway, Queens College, L.W. Young, and many more. From shirts and blouses to jumpers, skirts, shorts, and pants, we've got uniforms for almost every school in the Bahamas. So, skip the stress and shop at Carey's today. Call us at 393-0758 or 817-0758. That's Carey's Fabric and Uniform Store, where back-to-school shopping is a breeze.
With RBC,
your ideas become plans.
Your plans become memories.
This is retirement.
And your dreams, life.
Whether it's planning that family vacation, owning your dream home, or retiring comfortably, your ideas are everything. And RBC is here to help make them happen. With RBC, your ideas happen here.
This October, Bahama invites you to indulge your senses at the Culinary and Arts Festival, where world-class flavors meet breathtaking creativity in the heart of the Bahamas. Join us October 22nd through 26th for an unforgettable celebration featuring culinary legends Marcus Samuelson, Dario Cicchini, Simeon Hall Jr., and Scott Conant, alongside a vibrant lineup of chefs and mixologists. Explore captivating art installations, interactive workshops, and live performances, all set against the stunning backdrop of Nassau's premier luxury resort. From curated tasting events to beachfront feasts and immersive gallery experiences, this is more than a festival. It's a feast for the soul. Tickets and packages are going fast. Visit bahamar.com to reserve your spot at the Culinary and Arts Festival at Bahamar, where stage.
This is how we do it.
Get ready to kick off the new school year with a bang. It's the Guardian Media Group and Rotary Club of South Ocean's Back to School Jamboree. Friday, August 29th in the parking lot of the Nassau Guardian in Oakesville, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Join us for a day of fun, games, and back-to-school excitement. We've got something for everyone, from bouncing castles and face painting to health screenings, hair grooming, and giveaways. Meet some of your favorite local businesses and get ready for the new school year with all the essentials. We'll have school supply vendors and local eateries with delicious treats. Don't miss out on the fun. The Guardian Media Group and Rotary Club of South Ocean's Back to School Jamboree. Friday, August 29th at the Nassau Guardians parking lot, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's the perfect way to celebrate the end of summer and get excited for a great school year. See you here.
Brought to you by
Island Wholesale, Splash of Sunshine, Purity Bakery, Janae's Uniform Center, Harry's, Celestial Treats, Sun Oil, Lowe's, A&N's Kitchen, Zelrana Mackey, Lumber Snack, Precious Curry, Robert Russell, and brought to you.
You work hard for your money, so let your money work hard for you. With as little as $1,000 to start, you can watch your money grow by investing in CFAL's Bahamian dollar and US dollar mutual funds, each tailored to match your unique investment profile. Our expert advisors are dedicated to crafting personalized investment strategies to help you achieve your financial goals. Don't miss out on the chance to earn higher returns on your hard-earned money. Join the thousands of investors who trust CFAL and start your journey toward financial freedom today. Visit us at cfal.com to learn more about our saving and investment options. And let us help you build wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
It is time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. The controversial North Bay commercial dock for Integra's $200 million Rosewood Exuma project on Sampson Key has been given the green light by the Department of Environmental Planning and Protection, with some additions like a seawall being added to the environmental management plan that was not in earlier discussions about the dock. Integra revealing Wednesday that it will have its groundbreaking ceremony for the project on Sampson Key in the first week of September. Contention within the Exumas because a neighboring developer insists the development and eventual operation of the commercial dock will render his project futile and ultimately unsuccessful. Turtlegrass Resort and Island Club's developer Bob Coughlin, who began development of his eco-resort some 2 years ago, banked on the pristine North Bay becoming a sanctuary for his low-density project when his guests swim with the turtles that frequent the bay and enjoy its reefs and tidal flows. Well, with the impending development of Rosewood's back-of-house dock in the North Bay, Coughlin's chief concern is that dredging and then constant boat traffic moving people, building equipment, and refuse will ruin what was once a peaceful, eco-sensitive, and picturesque marine environment. Rosewood's EMP explains that Braun, Integra's environmental consultants, and the developer have considered a number of locations on the project site suitable for the operations of the dock and have considered the South Marina. However, given the tight constraints on space for the service facilities like storage and reverse osmosis, it's not practiced in today's Guardian Business section. The Office of the Data Protection Commissioner has launched public consultation on the draft Data Protection Bill 2025, which will replace the Data Protection Privacy of Personnel Information Act of 2003 and will improve the protection of personal data in the country by affixing rules to the collection of data and penalties for contravening them. The DPC releasing a statement yesterday calling the new legislation a landmark piece of law that will modernize and strengthen the Bahamas' framework for protection and privacy. President of the United Public Transportation Company, Harrison Moxey, telling Guardian Business that while public buses are relatively safe, he wants more spot checks on buses by authorities to ensure incidences of violence and law-breaking do not become commonplace. Moxey, responding to a recent stabbing on a public bus that left a 60-year-old bus driver hospitalized, calling for the spot checks, seeing road traffic department personnel on motorcycles around the island used to be a regular occurrence, according to Moxey, but he says that support is definitely needed now. And Commonwealth Brewery Limited reporting that its net profits were down by $100,000 in the second quarter of 2025 due to a rise in operating costs from 2024. In its Q2 report, it said that for the first half of the year, CBL reported a net profit of $6.0 million compared to the $6.1 million in the same period last year, primarily due to tight control of operating costs. The company also achieved a notable increase in net cash flow from operating activity compared to $5.6 million in the first half of the year. That is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, reminding you to register now for the CFAL Pension and Economic Conference, October 16th at the Bahamar Convention Center. Under the theme Resilience in the Face of Global Uncertainty, this half-day event offers expert insights on navigating today's shifting economy. Visit cfal.com for more information. And that's going to do it for us on this Friday morning. Thanks for listening all week. We'll be back on Monday with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight, Strachan, have a great day, everybody. Have a great weekend. Be safe. And stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green coming up next.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on Guardian Tom and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.